Welcome back to Renegade GCM. Today we have a gameplay in the OP09 meta with Sanji and the red-haired pirates versus Bonney. So we choose to go first here. We have 2 of the 8-drop 10k Shanks, a 7-drop Beckman with an on-play, the 4/6 Vanilla Luffy, and an Uda Searcher. So we're going to start off with the Uda Searcher, grabbing a red-haired pirates type card. I'm going to grab a 2k Lime Juice. Just pass it over. So Bonnie's a tempo deck. They like to ramp. They like to kind of minimize the amount of attacks we can get in. So we got to make our attacks count. So we're just going to put 3 onto our Sanji and go 8 because we know they're going to rest the Uda. Normally here I would have just split I would have went 5-5. But against Bonney you got to kind of get one good swing in the early stages, and then once you start accumulating bodies on field, they can't rest them all until their late game when they can drop their 10-drop Dofi. So it looks like they took the first hit, which is good. We'll just pass it back over to them. So we do have 2 of the 7-drop Beckmans that we can trash a 6k or less. So they can put 1 on their Bonney and go 6 into our 2, Uda. Let me just give that to them. They're going to play the Rasenani blocker and pass turn with 1 open Dawn. So here, like I said, we they like to rest stuff down, so you want to get your attacks in before you play out your stuff. So we're going to go 6. We're going to attach 1 to Sanji, go 6 into 5 here. So I do counter out. Now we're going to deploy our 4/6, giving it rush. And I was thinking about Sanji into the Bonney matchup, is we could get our swings out before we deploy our new body that we want to swing. So we kind of can get that extra attack in where most decks don't have that opportunity. And I'm sorry if the audio sounds a little disoriented. I've been congested lately. So the opponent's down to 3 life here. They look like they have 8 cards in hand. We end up drawing into another Beckman. So here the carrot comes down. It's going to freeze our Luffy. It's going to stun it, essentially. They're going to go 5 into 5 here. Debating. We have like a bunch of, but we're just going to take the hit. The Beckmans are good because the Beckmans can take out Cavendish. They can take out carrots. They take out a lot of stuff. So Sarah's going to chip 5 in. So we're trying to play around the Bonney ability to kind of make them not be Dawn efficient because they're trying to keep 1 open for the leader effect, but we're trying to not give them an opportunity to use the leader effect. So here we play out the Ben Beckman, trashing the carrot. Just a clean answer to get rid of carrot. We can't give Beckman rush because he has on play, so. So over to the opponent. They still have 7 cards in hand. Looks like they're 8 Dawn. So we did end up getting the 10-drop Shanks in hand as well. So the problem with Bonney is she can wall up behind that 8-drop kid. And they have a lot of blockers. So they play out the Cavendish here, which is great. because we do have another Beckman if we decide we want to remove it next turn. So they dawned up a bunch and went 9 into our Luffy for 6. We just gave it to them. So here they're going to be able to get a swing on. Or they're going to be able to rest one of our characters. So we got to make sure our swing is effective. So we're going to go 9 into 5 here. They're going to rest our leader, which as expected. They use our blocker. And now we're going to deploy our Beckman to trash their Cavendish. Like I said, Ben Beckman's just a nice clean answer for a lot of those 6K and under bodies that you just need to get rid of. Like being able to remove their Cavendish this early definitely helped us so that they can't go to their head drop turn and still have Dawn available. So here they played their Shanks and they got rid of one of our Beckmans. Going 5 into 5. We just give them a 1K counter here. So draw into another 2K. We have 10 Dawn. We know they're going to rest one, so we're just going to get that 7K swing in. Resting our leader. We have a lot of options here. We can go all the way into the 10 drop if we want. We can go to 8 and 7. Still get them rush with the remaining Dawn. Waiting on the opponent here. 7 and 5. They do take that hit. They're down to 2 life. So we decided to go with the 10 drop, 12K rush, giving all their opponents' characters minus 1,000. So 12 and a 5 here. They're going to take that hit. Waiting to see if they want to resolve the trigger, it looks like. So Sanji just wants to keep applying pressure, removing the threats as efficiently as possible. So we just end the turn here, passing it over to the opponent. They're at 10 Dawn here. So we do expect on the 10 Dawn to see the 10 drop Dopey, but they go with the Jewelry Bonney, which is going to freeze our 12K Shanks, leaving them 5 Dawn, attaching 1 to their Shanks. So they're going to go 11 into our 7K Beckman here. So we would need 3 cards. A 2K, a 2K, and a 1K. So we're going to give them the 8-10, I think. No, we're going to go with a 7-9. We want to try to protect our board as much as possible against here. Here is going to take 2 cards out of hand to get rid of. We're going to keep the Beckman alive so we can get rid of the Bonney character. So you're all into the Shariah blocker, which is okay, but it's mostly in there for like the 6K leaders, the Black Yellow Luffy deck. So here we're going to go 10 into 5 here. They're going to rest our leader. Assuming they are going to rest our leader here. Yeah, rest the leader. They have like 8 cards in hand. So they're going to attempt to counter out here. So they gave us 3 2Ks. Then we're going to play out our Ben Beckman and just trashing the Jewelry Bonney. So on the opponent's turn, they have 10 Dawn still. 6 cards in hand. 1 life. So the Shanks says KO to one of your opponent's rested characters on play. So it just cares if the leader is, if the character is rested, so. Shanks is pretty good. It's a clean answer to our any character on our field. the Shanks if they want to remove it. Assuming they have another one. So here they're going to go put 2 on. They're going to go 12 into 7 with backbone. We got to give that to them. That means they have 8 Dawn open. Which means they could play Hody Jones, which is a 7 drop. And they still have themselves 1 Dawn for a leader effect. There's a lot of options they have at this point. Because they have 8 Dawn. I guess technically they could play Kid, but they won't have the extra Dawn to attach or to leave open for leader effect. So they're going to play a Bonney, freezing down our 10 drop Shanks again. Okay, makes sense. And they're going to put 1, 2, 2 Dawn on their leader, go 7 into 5 here. We're going to take that. Luffy off of life says we can use activate the main, which allows us to find a film. So back to us. We draw a Shariah. Like I said, we got to make our swings count because we've only got really 1 swing. So their Shanks is a 10k. So we're going to go 14 into 10. That's 5k they need to give us to protect that Shanks. We just want to see how bad they value that Shanks. And then we have 3 left over, which we may be able to play. We could play the Shariah blocker or the Luffy. So they do give us the Shanks, which is what we wanted. And we're going to deploy their Shariah blocker. Try to attempt to protect our bodies a little bit, because we don't have a lot of counter in hand. But they could deploy another 9 drop Shanks, completely trashing our 10 drop Shanks, which would be pretty bad. But they've been doing. The Bonney player's definitely been holding its own pretty good here. They've been at 1 life for a while. We're trying to chip in. They're answering, the board where needed. So they're going to play out their 10 drop Dopey, freezing our Ben Beckman, our 10 drop Shanks, and our leader. From readying. Now they don't have any open Dawn to stop attacks, but the only attack we really have is Shariah, so this was a high risk, high reward type deal, and it worked out for him. We really don't have a play this turn. I mean, we could try to just put everything we got onto Shariah, but we would want to at least keep 3. So we put 5 on Shariah. We're going to go 10 into 5 here. To take that last life, this is going to leave us 5, so we can play a Loopy, grabbing a film, and then playing the Shariah after we return the cards to the deck. Now we can deploy our blocker as well. Just giving a little extra protection, but still wanting to pressure this turn. Opponent has 7 cards in hand, it looks like. So the problem with Bonney when they get to that 10 drop turn is it seems like they can always chain the 10 drops, and that is so devastating. When they can chain like 1 to 3, 2, 3 dopies, 10 drops turn after turn, and keeping your stuff locked down, it's rough. Because the Shariah only gets the power equal to the opponent's leader when attacking or on block. So it does become a 5k, and if Bonney does, essentially whatever the leader swing is, it matches it, so I only need a 1k to stop the hit. But like I said, Shariah's in there for black-yellow Luffy matchup, and any of the 6k leaders. So they're going to go 6 with their Bonney character. They gave it a Dawn, so it's going to go 6 into 5 here. We need to get a 2K out of this. They have 9 open Dawn. We're going to take that because if not, we would have to give them our entire hand. We do get a 5-drop Yasop. So here comes the Hody Jones, resting down our characters, including our blocker. So they technically have 3 swings. They're going to go 7 into 5 here. We know we can't stop the 9K Dopey. So that one's going to guarantee hit. So we're going to use all our cards to counter out of this one. And we know Bonney's going to be a 7K swing. Or a 6K. And they still have the Dopey swing, but they can't kill us this turn. And then we have the entire field that we can manipulate Dawn as needed to go back at her. So I don't. They've attached 1 to their Dopey for some reason. That's only 11. Or it's 10. They equal back to 10. So they're going to go into our Beckman here. They get that because we have no cards in hand. And if they want to go after like something else, they could have, but... Alright. So here they have no blockers. They have 1 open Dawn, so they're going to stop 1 attack. So here we're just going to put all 10 on our 10-drop Shanks and just go 22 into life. So they could rest the Sanji, but we still have the 2 Shiraya blockers swinging at 5 each. So opponent scoops it up. They had like 1, 2, 2K counter, 2K counter in hand. But as you see, Sanji was able to keep applying the pressure with the ability to give his characters rush. Kind of really messes with what Bonney wants to do. Because we can apply pressure even after we look like we've done everything. We can still get that last swing in. But yeah, like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.